All right, so once you enroll, you're going to be welcomed by this ridiculous picture of me as Bob Ross. By the way, I don't have an afro like that, never did. Bob Ross is this guy right here, right? I don't know how many of you guys know Bob Ross. Give me a thumbs up if you know who Bob Ross is. A couple of you. Oh man, look, most of you know who Bob Ross is. That's great. All right, so he's on Netflix. You check him out, try to paint. I know so many people that aren't painters that have tried painting like him since it's popped up on Netflix. When I was a kid, I never painted with him, but I did just enjoy watching him because he had like the most soothing, most welcoming voice in the world. Little did you know that he was like a killer in the military. You know, he just doesn't really portray himself that way. So this is done for a variety of reasons. Interactive screens are so much more fun, more enjoyable than seeing it the other way. The other option, let's see if I can show you what my classes used to look like, would be like this, a list of different assignments day after day after day after day. I like this version because it's a little bit more appealing to the eyes, not because it's a picture of me, but because it just seems a little bit easier to manage. It's also more fun. So throughout here, you're going to see some Easter eggs, things that I put in pretty much every single one of your daily interactive pages. We're going to see them in just a minute. So if you clicked on my face, you get a little bit of a story about me, just so you know that I'm a human, that I'm not some robot. So we're going to click on that where it says click here to view your assignments. And we're just going to jump right into it. This is a 10-day course. It ends next, not this Friday, but the next. That means you're going to go. You got day 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to see that it only goes through day 8. The reason why it does that, we do it this way, is because we have Wednesdays. We have days where we need to play a little bit of catch up just to make sure you don't fall behind. And then lastly, the dates are from last course. I need to change them, but you can see that it said January 27th, 28th, 29th. So the very last assigned day or activities is meant to take a couple of days minimum. With that said, I know I've mentioned before that each one of these days takes place or replaces a full week's worth of work. You're only going to see 3 or 4 assignments per day. So it really isn't. What you're getting is a very quick version of a class, but also a very shortened version of a class for 0.5 credit. That's a semester grade for 10 days. It's definitely worth it in any class, not just in my class, but in history class. The amount of work you're doing is way, way, way less than you would have to in 18 weeks, which normally is a course. So use it up, take advantage of it, try to pass as many classes as possible, because this is a sweet deal. You're never going to get something this sweet. I never did. No one ever in history ever has. I understand it's COVID, but anyways, before I forget, I do want to show you around. So you'll notice that I just clicked home. You only have 2 buttons here, home and conferences. You don't have to worry about modules, assignments, anything like that, like in other classes, rubrics, all this messiness. Also down the side, I forgot to mention. So for those of you who are just doing Canvas for the first time, the top says account. That's just your account settings. If you're going to download the app on your phone, which I highly recommend, it's the easiest way to turn in work. You download the Canvas for Students app, and then you find the QR code on here. When you click on here, you'll see a QR code for mobile login. It generates it for you. You scan it using your phone, and boom, all of your classes that you're enrolled for are now on your phone too. It's really easy, very well done by Canvas. The next thing is dashboard. If you're taking multiple classes, this is where you're going to see multiple tiles, kind of like you do on Teams. So you can see that all my art classes are set up right there. The other thing is this little thing. This is my favorite, quick link. So when you click on courses, they all pop up right here. Instead of showing all the tiles, for me to switch classes, I click on this and switch it up without having to change the page. So no waiting for anything to upload. And you guys are on Winter Paint and Draw Micro course. It takes you to this. On the side, I'm not going to talk about the rest of them because we don't use them. On the side, there are a couple of things. Don't drop my class. Down below, obviously, you should know the system by now. This is called synchronous time. This is Zoom. and it's only about 2 hours worth of time, your time. I'm never gonna keep you for 2 hours, so please respect that time. Let me know when you can't make it to a Zoom. I highly, I put this together, and it's taken every single one of those little tiles for each day has taken me probably 20 hours, and that's no joke. It seems super simple, but really I do it because I care about you guys. I'm not scheduled, only between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. I'm here for you guys at any point in the day. I've messaged and replied to messages by like 11 p.m. I've had phone calls that late. I'm always here to help you guys. So asynchronous time, that A letter one, is your time. You can't do much while you're listening to me talk for 2 hours and blah, 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 right? Asynchronous time is for you to do the work. It's scheduled in the morning time, in the afternoon. If you work, it's middle of the night. Asynchronous time is your time to do work, but it's also time, and this is expected of you guys, to check out the work before I talk about it. So for day one, I know it's not going to work today. Starting tomorrow, check out the work. Click on the link at least for day 2 activities and check out the interactive screen and click on some of those numbers. Shop around and look at it just so you're familiar with it. So when I'm talking about it, you're more understanding of what we're doing, but also you can ask questions, because right now you can't ask questions about the content if you don't know the content. So that's what it's for. And then there's a disclaimer. It says, I want you to understand that every single person can be creative. In fact, there's not a day in your adult life that you won't encounter some unique problem that won't require some creative problem solving. The more you engage in it now and allow yourself to playfully investigate possibilities, the more skillful you become. That's why I designed this class to be playfully explorative, while I teach you some tools to help you understand how to do that more successfully. Let's begin. And I mean that. Every single kid, oh man, what's Banksy's quote? But every single kid, when they're 4 or 5 years old, when you hand them a box of crayons, every single one, they want to draw on walls, they want to draw on a piece of paper, on cardboard, on a table. It doesn't matter what. They just want to create. Why? Because we're designed like that as humans. We're designed to test things out. Like, that's why little toddlers are always sticking things in their mouth, like, ooh, like, what's this? They're eating an orange without peeling it. That's why the pencil eraser, we know what every single one of us knows what it tastes like, right? Because we want to use our senses to just try everything out and figure out the world. But being creative is one of those things where we're all naturally inclined to be creative. But by 3rd and 4th grade, that's when a teacher's like, okay, you're not coloring inside the lines, color inside the lines. And they're like, oh, that cow, you're coloring it purple. Wait, the cows aren't that color. And so society quickly strips away all of the creativity from you, and you end up just kind of becoming the status quo. Instead of being creative, they want you to think like everybody else. Why aren't you drawing like this person? Why aren't you painting like that person? And so I have to apologize personally for society failing you, because you all should have been beautiful creatives, drawers, painters, poets by now. But society has this idea that like being scientists and good spellers and grammatically correct all the time. So they make you follow all these sets of rules, and it strips away all creative aspects. Not for all, but I'm just saying I apologize about that. All right, so now art kit. And if you already have one from a previous course, that's perfect. Even if it's slightly different, that should be all right. I think most of the art supplies are fairly similar. Again, also respect these art supplies. There's probably about $10 or $12 worth of art supplies in each one of these bags, if not more, because that paint is not cheap paint. I most likely hand poured some of those paint bottles, which is messy. It takes time. I put a lot of thought and effort into like the products that you have. And if you're not going to finish my class, I hope that you still keep that art supply and paint for yourself, just for fun. If you have a little one, a little nephew, niece, a sister, make them paint with them. It should be a communal activity, but just explore. There's no better way to put up with crazy COVID times than to like break away and go on basically on a trip, on a vacation from everything else that's mentally feeling like this after 12 months of this. Can you believe that we're almost 360 days into this ridiculousness? So again, I clicked on here last time. It says click here to begin your daily assignments. That's where you're going to click to go to get your work. All right, so here's your quick tour. Day one, we're going to click on the first piece. This first day has to do with just becoming more aware with art. Aware in various ways, that there's a hidden language to discuss art and that anyone can tap into that language. The first thing you have to do is be curious. So I'm gonna teach you how to be curious about looking at art, because that's what happens when you walk into roasters to get a coffee. Not that you can right now. I don't even know you can walk into a coffee shop right now. But anyways, when you walk into roasters and they have that painting of Kurt Cobain or Bob Marley or whoever, depending on which roasters you walk into, what do you do with that artwork? Do you stare at it? Do you just walk right by it? You go, oh, that's pretty cool, and then just keep ignore it? Or is there a better way to look at art? And I'm gonna coach you on that. The next thing is that there's other hidden vocabulary that you can use to better explain yourself or describe it when you're thinking about it, when you are trying to communicate it. And then it's not in this slide, but I do over the course of 8 days, I'm gonna teach you that art isn't a pretty painting like this. Not anymore. This painting was made 70 years ago now. And art had a different definition back then. Now, you don't have to paint, you don't have to draw, you don't even have to sculpt to be able to be considered an artist. I went to art school. Okay, I wasn't gonna be an art teacher. I thought I was gonna be an artist, number one. And maybe if that didn't work, I was gonna be an art teacher. If that didn't work, I'd figure something else out. But when I went to art school, I was surrounded by some amazing creatives, but half of them couldn't draw. And that was the first time I realized that. I thought that you had to have some kind of skill. Really, what matters most is having an idea. So tap into your ideas, your personal life matters, and I'm gonna teach you that in 8 days. And then what you do with that information to kind of create something out of it. So that's in a nutshell what this class is about. Let's get onto it. Okay, so at the very top, it says day one, click on all the numbers for your assignments. There are 4 total. So by now you should know how many things you have to turn in for day one. Down at the bottom, there's another reminder. There are 4 tasks to complete on this interactive page. You're gonna see this on every interactive page. It's gonna say down below, it's gonna say how many things you need to turn in and what those numbers mean. So number 1, it's a how to look at art activity. Number 2, art, period. What is it? Activity. Number 3, a movement and composition activity. And lastly, using leading lines, AKA it's called movement activity. And then it says, have you found the 2 Easter eggs? I've hidden things within this page. So when you click around, so as you're shopping around, look at how this turned into a little hand. Go over here, it turns into a little hand. If you look around, boom, click here, a little zombie. Just have fun with it. You can shop around for those Easter eggs. Sometimes they're worth some rewards. Sometimes they're just there for fun. Oh yeah, hey, here's one for Groundhog Day. Should be right here. I'm gonna show you. There he is. All right, here's a little groundhog. I put this guy in here way before Groundhog Day. It just happens to be the day before. All right, so click. So one thing that you're gonna do is if you click on something, let's say like on number 3, and you wanna get out of it, what you wanna do is click anywhere in the main field, anywhere outside of it, and it takes you back to the main page. Clicking on the actual number will take you to the assignment. So before I click on the numbers, this little yellow arrow is in every single one of my interactive pages. Let me go ahead and click on it so you guys see what happens. It takes you to the main projects page, and I put it there out of simplicity, just so you don't get confused, like, what do I click on? How do I get back? So on every interactive page is this little 3-dimensional arrow that I drew up, put on there. Again, I had to learn how to computer program pretty much for this ridiculousness.